On November 18th, 2015, I got up like any other morning and got my kids off ready to go to school. And typically I had to work right after. And just shortly after 8 o'clock, I felt something literally explode in my head. And it was very, very painful. I got an instant headache that was the worst headache of my life. And I went to a coworker and told her, "Lauren, will you please take me to the ER?"
It was a very busy day in the ER that day.
When I walked in the room, I introduced myself as I always do. I'm Wilma, I'm a nurse practitioner. I'll be seeing you along with your nurse and your doctor. And she was sitting in the bed and her husband was off to the side and she just looked like perfect. This was a beautiful, healthy woman. She started to explain to me about her headache. As she began to speak with me, I began to really be very cautious in that you don't allow someone's physical appearance to cloud your perspective.
Wilma had already informed me about Debbie coming in complaining of a headache, and she said, "Hey, I really feel like we need to do a CAT scan, and I have a suspicion that there may be, something serious going on." And then she came to me and said, "Hey, the CAT scan came back positive for a subarachnoid hemorrhage."
Of course, I looked at Steve in just sheer panic, and I am now extremely worried about my kids, and I just tell him, "You gotta go get my kids, I wanna see the kids, go get the kids," and he's just desperately trying to calm me down so that we can listen to Dr. Torres.
I went in and I remember talking to Debbie about it, and it was an emotional conversation. I try to lay it down as honest as possible without creating too much doom and gloom, but I'm trying to be honest. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. So I let her know it was a serious condition and that we needed to act on it very quickly and essentially stop further bleeding.
He took me down the hall, he got an IV in me, he started to get me stabilized. I could hear him. He started making arrangements to transport me. And an ambulance was too far away, so he opted for a helicopter, and the helicopter took me to Barrows Neurological Institute. The surgery lasted about almost 4 hours, and it was successful. And I'm here today, and it was definitely a miracle. And a big part of that miracle was, just the initial efforts of Wilma Egan and Dr. Torres.
Every time I see Debbie and her family, I'm so rewarded to know that Wilma and I were able to make such a big impact. I see her children and I see Debbie, and she's, so young and full of life, and I do feel very close to them.
The thing that I am most grateful for is that I know that every person I touch, that person will not be the same as they were when they came in. I will not be the same. Whether I know it or not, I won't be the same. And you try to leave a positive influence regardless of the situation.
Wilma Egan and Dr. Torres will always be a part of my family because they took care of me when I was at my weakest moments of my life. And they brought me back up and got me on my feet. I will always do whatever I need to give back to them.